was pleasant to see you in my garage.
It was hot in your garage. You know, it was funny. Because I'm in here all day and it run the air and whatever, and it's kind of cool in the apartment. That I had the hoodie on, and then I just ran down to talk to you.
Yeah.
And I'm in that I'm in that garage in the summer in South Florida. And after about like 10 minutes, I was like, dude,
Well, I had just gotten home. It takes that fan running for about an hour for it to kind of between that and the sun going behind the building.
Yeah, but the garage door was open. It doesn't matter how hard the fan's blowing. It wasn't going to cool the room down.
Listen. It was so hot today, Ben.
I haven't stepped outside once.
I don't know what
I knew better.
I don't even know what the heat index is. But let me tell you that at 1:30, 1:35 in the afternoon today, I was standing in the most disrespectful heat in my entire life on a tin roof trying to sawzall drain grates in place. It was so hot. And to make it even better, because you know me.
I don't regret not working with you anymore.
Because you know me and you know how I work. The blade kept bending because the metal was so thick. It's a real thick gauge tin roof that they're putting up as the first layer. And the blade just kept bending, and I kept having to stop and bend it back with my channel locks. And sweat was just pouring off of me.
So you probably
I
lost a little.
I threw the Sawzall at least once.
You could have made
Sawzall. Wow, that would be.
You could have made weight for
Oh yeah,
fight.
no,
yeah.
I lost 10 pounds of water weight easy today. Yeah. Easy. It was. Oh, and the second thing that is worth noting. By the way, I hate Boca people. There was an emergency leak. The Boca Resort where we're working, there's a banquet hall, and it's where they also where the golf headquarters gimmick is. I don't fucking know. Right by their sports complex, is working behind that. And there was an emergency leak where they were having breakfast for all the guests at the resort. And there was a lot of people there fucking today.
Friday?
Yeah. And the restaurant above had a P-trap leak, which is when the P-trap is right underneath your sink.
It's like does a little loop under your sink.
Well, it was cast iron, and there had a hole in it. So, and a full kitchen is going on because it's breakfast time. The roof partially, because it's a drop ceiling underneath that, so the roof partially collapsed because water had built up over like 2 hours. Yeah,
those tiles are just getting soggy and shit. Yeah,
bro, it was a horror show because they're in the middle of cooking, so they're shoving food and everything down there as they're going. They're those kitchens, so the smell is incredible. It was fantastic.
It was all the smells of breakfast.
It was no.
Lunch?
Well, yes, but only in sewage form.
Oh.
No, it wasn't.
You were saying when you were saying incredible, you were saying they were still in the middle of cooking. I thought it meant that the
buffet.
Great.
So the buffet table is 20 feet away from me, with all the the breakfast items and everything like that. And here's from this fucking sink trap. So we had to rush over, and I had to park right outside in my big van to get all the tools out and start doing a rush repair. We're laying drop cloths, putting a ladder up, turning the water off, and I'm up there getting rid of all the soggy roof tiles, and then start working on the P-trap. And one of the security guy comes and goes, "Hey, bro, I need you to move your truck." And I look down, I'm like, "Bro, are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, only the guest cars can park there." And I'm like, I'm looking around, there's people all over the place. I'd
have just tossed in the keys. I would have literally just tossed in the keys and said, "Oh, just let me know where it is." Bro, all you, buddy.
Bro, I didn't know what to say. He's like, "No, you need to move it." And I'm just like, "I'm here. Look what I'm doing."
Yeah.
And then
I'm up to my elbows.
And then I was like, I threw the keys to Jeff, and I'm like, "Jeff, go pull it over. And I just looked at him like, fucking unbelievable, man. Like, just unbelievable. Like, I don't even know what else to say, you know?
Yeah. You gonna ask the fireman to fucking move his truck while he's
Holy
putting out
shit.
the fire?
And I looked over.
This is rich people shit. I hate it.
Oh yeah, I looked over at one of the head of the management that we deal with because we do a lot of their plumbing work, and I'm just like, bro. He's like, well, you can't park there, and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't believe this interaction just happened.
Oh,
it's akin to your house is on fire, the fire truck pulls up, starts fighting the fire to save your house. You're like, hey man, you can't park on my lawn.
Yeah.
It's the same logic. Yeah. So I thought that was weird and notable.
God forbid a rich person sees a work truck parked on the side of the road while they're driving to their fucking country club.
And let me tell you
God
about
forbid.
Let me tell you about
the eyesore.
Let me tell you
their
about
day's ruined.
Boca privilege. These motherfuckers are basically lemmings, okay? If I'm driving within inside the confines of the community, it is the only time that I've ever been behind the hand. It's like playing Paperboy in the original Nintendo. It's like they actively seek to walk in front of just me while I'm driving. It is fucking baffling. Their privilege is such they don't even see you. You don't exist, or your giant Chevy truck. Okay,
wow.
And it's just that they know. There's like this protective bubble of privilege that just surrounds them. It's pretty incredible, man. Some of the interactions I have with some of these people, there's no such privilege as Boca privilege. I hate those people so much, which is why I struggle with our friendship with Blake on a daily basis. I love you, Blake. So yeah,
which is ironic because he's not like. He's not like originally from Boca, but
oh no.
But boy, has he settled in.
He has. He wears the colors well.
Yeah. So, moving on from Blake, we have a friend that is having a vaccination issue. And, we're not going to name names, but
we'll call him Larry.
Yeah, sure, why not? Listen, this is not we're not taking a stance on anything here.
We never take stances.
Get a shot, don't get a shot.
The only thing we take stances on is food.
Get a shot, don't get a shot. That's up to you.
Oh, that.
I'm not preaching, like, pushing for anything here. But, when you lie about it and you get caught, expect the consequences. We have a friend who's up visiting family somewhere. And I guess that's where he grew up, maybe? I don't know. But...
I think we should know this, but we don't.
I don't give a shit. I don't need to know his fucking origin story. But he is not vaccinated. And he told one of his friends that he's not vaccinated. And his friend told his mom, the friend's mom. And the mom went and told everybody else. And now nobody wants to be around him. All the I guess it's like family friends kind of stuff.
Not anymore.
So like people that know his mom or family or just neighborhood friends or nobody wants anything to do with him. And it's like, well, it's fantastic because we're the men from the last generation where we take immense fucking pleasure and amusement out of this happening to someone we know because it's hilarious. And you did it to yourself. I'm not saying get a shot or don't get a shot, but if you start lying about it and don't lie to everyone about it, and then you get caught lying about it, you've done it to yourself. I can't feel bad for you. You fucked yourself. What does the fucking DJ say? Congratulations, you just played yourself?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here while he's on our group chat talking about it, and I'm just laughing. And I have absolutely zero sympathy for his fucking plight because if you don't just either get a shot or lie that you got a shot, but don't secretly tell 3 people because DTA, buddy. This is 2000 and whatever 21, 2000. Nobody keeps a secret anymore. This ain't like the Cold War era. People went to their graves with secrets. Now everyone writes a book 10 years later.
This is high school.
So, if you're gonna tell one person,
the class will find out.
You're fucked. Yeah. Because no matter who, I know, even if I tell you a secret, I can almost bet you'll keep it, but I can't guarantee on most things you won't. Well, maybe tell your wife. And then swear her, but then I have no control over that one. And I have no trust. I have no trust bubble around her.
She's good on that kind of stuff.
I'm just saying, I
understand where you're coming from.
You know what I mean? And you could tell me I have less people that I would tell a secret because I don't have someone that sucks my dick that I get stupid and tell shit to. You know what I mean? I don't lose my fucking facilities, my mental facilities to tell people shit. But I just in 2021, man, it literally almost requires a fucking signed document that gets notarized before you tell someone something. And this dummy telling his quote friend. Who tells their mom shit? That's another thing. Who are these people that are listen. Maybe if my mom was still alive, I would say I'm closer to her than I am that she's dead. But I'm not confiding in her who got a shot and who didn't and all this shit.
It's just weird how that even happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
and a guy that travels around. I mean, listen again. I'm not saying get the shot for health reasons. Get it so you don't have problems. If you're traveling, it's just so much easier to flash a card. And so what? If you grow a horn in 20 years or the government can track you in another way other than your cell phone because you're microchipped now, who gives a fuck? I mean, honestly, I think the whole, not to get political or whatever, but the whole issue is that it's just not FDA approved yet. Once it's FDA approved, I don't know. It would be the same as getting your measles vaccination or your smallpox. I mean, you can't go to school without a bunch of vaccinations. You can't travel to and from countries without a bunch of vaccinations. The difference is they're all FDA approved, so people don't blink at it. You don't want to say anything.
2 things.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
I love that you're so worked up about this that we've had this conversation now twice about Larry.
Well.
No, it's fantastic. I love it. That's why I let you go. Because I was Ben really wants this out.
I mean, I'd love to just yell his name out and just totally bury him.
No.
But that's why we have 2 conversations, because there's the fun one with his name and all the details, and then there's the Larry one.
He's our friend Larry David.
Yes,
and we love him. And as far as I'm concerned, it's this is my take on this. I don't care. I don't care if you get vaccinated.
Me too.
I don't care if you're vaccinated. It doesn't matter to me. My personal...
Full disclosure, I am.
Yeah. Yeah, and in full disclosure, I get my second shot in 2 days.
I understand why you would.
Yeah.
Because you have a baby due any day.
Exactly.
And
I got it for my family.
If not even for your family. I don't know in 2 weeks who they're letting in the fucking hospital.
It's true. It's actually something that we've talked about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're acting like my brother who's a...
So if you could flash a card, a get out of jail free card, it does, because at this point, vaccinated or not, you can still catch it, you can still spread it.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is whether you really, I think, from what my education is whether you die from it or not. Yeah. But
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care.
If someone doesn't want you in the door because you're not vaccinated, this solves such a mild headache.
But 2 things.
Unless you don't trust the shot.
2 things. 1, don't be that guy who doesn't vaccinate and then goes out of his way to tell you that not only is he not vaccinated, but what the fuck are you doing getting vaccinated? You know, that guy. Don't be that guy. Just don't get vaccinated. No one cares.
But here's a question on that. If people ask you if you're vaccinated or not, more people are going to be mad at you for not being vaccinated than for being vaccinated. Like a conservative person
Yes.
that asks if you're vaccinated in most circles of normal fucking people, not lunatics,
Yeah, exactly.
they're not going to give you a hard time for getting a vaccination.
So
they may not agree with it. They may think you shouldn't have, but they're not going to unfriend you, and they're not going to not hang out with you if you're vaccinated. It works the other way, not this way.
So
just
it
lie
is what
about
it is.
if
It
you
is
got
what it is. You know, just like if you decide not to, if it's just not your thing for whatever reason, just don't get mad when people look at you. You just expect it. Just expect it. Just go like, this is part of my decision.
I mean, what's funny is the crazy logic of people not wanting to hang out with him because he's unvaccinated doesn't float anymore now that we know vaccinated people can catch it and spread it too.
So that
which makes me laugh even harder.
So
I love it.
So just don't be that guy. Just don't get it, and it is what it is. Just accept the fact that there are consequences to your actions, and just be cool with that.
He's living them.
But the most important thing here,
Poor Larry.
But the most important thing here for our poor friend Larry, did he lie? Did he tell them that he was vaccinated? And
I think,
or did it just come out he wasn't vaccinated?
I think he told his friend the truth in the "don't tell anybody," and then
so he told everybody. Everyone had the assumption that he was vaccinated,
or didn't ask. Maybe it was a don't ask, don't tell.
See, that's where I'm at with this.
I don't know.
That's where I'm at.
We didn't pry enough, but knowing that that nobody wants to be around him being unvaccinated only leads me to assume he either lied about being vaccinated to other people or
I was going to say based off the reaction that seems to have occurred to this information being made public, he lied.
Well, then you get heat. Lying gets you heat.
So
as opposed to not volunteering.
So here's where I'm at with this. And this is like the most important aspect of all this is like if he lied, if he's like, "No, I'm totally vaxxed." Everyone believed it. Then they find out like halfway through dinner that he lied, and now they don't want nothing to do with him. Yeah, that's on you. There's nothing there.
Right.
There's nothing.
Right.
Dude, that's the worst person to be right now. Is to be the person who just lies to people.
Except all the vaccinated, all the people that are mad at him for lying about it don't understand it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because even if he's vaccinated, he could still have it and spread it.
Yeah, well, no.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that.
That the outrage is right now, the outrage is fake. But I love that he is a pariah in his hometown right now over a fake outrage thing because he fucked around and now he found out. He lied or concealed.
I don't know. We don't know that. We assume based off the reaction of his party because otherwise...
I'm not sure he was volunteering.
Because otherwise, they're all just chilling out. It's never been brought up or talked about.
No one's... Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, his mom finds out, he's not vaccinated.
I think...
They find out he's not vaccinated. And then they just get weirdly mad about it. Then it's just kind of like, I'm kind of on his side.
I think he didn't volunteer it. I think his mom... Larry's mom knew he wasn't, didn't volunteer it.
So are they mad at her too?
No, I don't know. No, here's what I think happened is that his friend's mom was a bit of a busybody gossip and tried to stir up
heat. Yeah,
that's what I read into it. Is like he didn't tell you he's unvaccinated and he's inviting you to. Hang out.
I kind of see.
Yeah. Well, but again. If you'd gotten a shot or even lied about getting the shot, you're everything's exactly the same, except now you don't have a problem.
At this point, then the argument is what you're arguing, that if you just get it, you don't have to deal with this shit that you would never have to deal with.
That and don't trust anybody. Don't say, "Listen, man, don't tell anybody, but I'm not vaccinated." What purpose does that serve?
Yeah, it seems off-putting and weird. But
if I'm telling you I'm not vaccinated, I'm not telling you not to tell anybody. Unless I think maybe when we were working together for that first little bit. But I didn't. Were the vaccines even out when we were still working?
No.
Yeah.
No, while we were working, we worked from the beginning and through on. So we experienced it all. By the time we were done... by the time
there was no vaccination still.
There was no vaccination.
Okay, so we didn't even do that to
all
ourselves.
you could do was go get tested for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have lied about it.
Have we ever tell that 4-hour story of hell? I think we're pretty sure we did.
We did, but we could tell again. The where my roommate got COVID and he had gone somewhere, come back, got tested, and you got the back then you got the results like
48 hours.
Or something like that.
72 hours.
So you and me and Jeff are riding around in a van, or was Jeff in the other van?
No, Jeff was in the other van.
Jeff was in the other van.
We were about to start.
So we're two-man crews.
We were about to start.
That are like working together all the time and in spaces over the last 2 days since my roommate had come back. My roommate calls us or messages us and says, "Hey, I got the bug," and we're all like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
And so we like called it a day. Fucking went to get tested. I think those two.
They went to Coral Springs because my boy Zach had at that point he got tested like 4 times a fucking month.
Yeah, because his wife's a pharmacist, and
in
the early days of this, they were all really super paranoid about it.
Yeah, as they should have been.
They didn't want him to work any of that.
Yeah,
but we didn't know anything. So yeah.
So he took Jeff to this place. We went to fucking Hard Rock Stadium because
the Dolphin Stadium. Because 2 reasons. My roommate had gone there a couple times to get tested, and he said it was in and out. And 2, I think we just logicked that that's the largest place.
Yeah, it's like a big manufacturing
That was the
plant.
largest place to get tested.
Yeah.
Everything else was parks or fucking smaller like pharmacies or we just figured a place that big was going to handle capacity and have you in and out.
It took us like 20 minutes, by the way, to find a place to fuck. It was a 20-minute journey just standing outside the van being like, where are we going to go?
Yeah. And then we get there and the line is ridiculous to even get into the parking lot. The line wraps around down one street a light and down another street a bit to even get into the parking lot of the Dolphins
And the
Stadium.
neighborhood outside of Hard Rock Stadium
That's a little hood.
It ain't the best.
There's not really any people out there. And because there's people coming and going to the stadium, there's cops. And so it was fine. But then once you get in, you see the fuck show that it was. And it was like everything was like a meandering labyrinth of cones and shit. And we were, how long? We were almost there 3 hours, right? It was like 2
We got
2 hours and 40 minutes or something?
No, it was. I remember we got there at like 12:45, 12:50, something like that. Because I raced there because we had to reserve the spots. And, the reservation.
But no one ever looked for that.
We had no idea that the reservation didn't mean shit.
No, it wasn't.
So we got there. We're looped around. It took us almost an hour just to get into the main parking lot. And then once we got in the main parking lot, it was like 2.5 hours. It was like 3:30, 4 o'clock by the time that we started on the journey because I went through like 3 separate breakdowns.
Oh, you have no patience for that shit.
None. No,
I was just thanking God that we had enough gas.
That's right.
The amount of time that we spent in that line, I could imagine that. I was surprised we'd see more people like run out of gas and push the car off to the side.
Thank God.
But I guess technically, if the car's not moving, you could turn it off.
Mm.
You don't have to be running it. But we
were on company gas.
Right, company gas and company air conditioning. Yeah, that was that was funny, and
I lost it.
I almost did a rib on you where I think I was gonna throw your paperwork out the window or something.
Yes.
Right.
No, I had my band out, and you were gonna close the window on my phone. You're like, hey, let me see that, and you go to close it. I'm like,
you had you had that QR code. Or
yes,
whatever.
Exactly. As we're going to the.
And I hit the button, and you were like, oh. Bring it back up! Bring it back up!
Oh,
you thought I deleted it?
Yeah, I did. I was very not happy.
That was hilarious.
And because by that point in that line, sitting in that truck for that long, I lost my shit like a couple different times.
I think I got twice while we were working on that job for like less than a year that I was working with you on that job. I got you to snap twice. There was that in the car, and then remember the day. I kept playing Careless Whisper.
Yep.
Really loud.
Yep, I do, Ben.
And it only took about 4 times. And the 4th time you were ordering food at the drive-thru. And I started playing it really fucking loud on my phone. And you grabbed my phone and threw it. You were it was serious business ordering that Wendy's chicken sandwich or whatever.
It was one of the few times they didn't fuck it up too. I just don't know how hard it is not to put mayonnaise on something.
You understand that, like, you showed your hand that day. I knew how easy it was to push your buttons. If I was more involved with TikTok at that point, I would have fucking. I think we would have had a hell of an account by now. Of me driving you the rage.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So basically, our pal Larry here. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what his politics are on the fucking shot. I don't know, but
it's probably Boca politics.
But he hasn't gotten it. I don't know. I mean, you think a lot of them are rich old people. They're gonna get the shots. I mean, because 2 reasons: they're older, they have more health issues, they're in a greater percentile of having serious problems with this, but also they lived in times where some of them are old enough to have lived in times before there was a vaccine for something, and now after a vaccine for something, and they know that it made a big difference, or they had a parent that went through polio or fucking smallpox or something. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not telling you that that's not probably the case. Reasonable people would be like that.
Yeah.
But I really think I'm underselling to you how much these people live in that privilege bubble, and their safety doesn't seem to concern them at all. I cannot stress enough, Ben, that they just walk down the road, regardless of whether or not you're in there on your vehicle.
I'm going to come to it from another angle. When you're
talking
about neighborhoods, and I'm telling you that
I'm just saying
that I've never seen you observe a speed limit in your fucking life. And
they are a suggestion.
And these people are like, fuck that. I'll walk where I want because you're supposed to be driving the speed limit anyways. I should not be in danger of you fucking creaming me with your truck.
I want to sit back.
It's kind of like our neighborhood. It's like
back.
15 miles an hour. Nobody drives 15 miles an hour.
Oh, God, no. It's a goddamn Autobahn
But
down
there's
there.
kids dribbling basketballs. There's kids on their bikes. There's old ladies. There's this. There's that. There's people walking their pets. And some people are ripping through at 50 miles an hour. And it's like, no.
Makes you think.
There's a reason there's 50-mile-an-hour speed limits. And I'm sure there's signs posted in those neighborhoods, in those Boca communities. So I would just make the devil's advocate argument that maybe you wouldn't have so much of these frustrations if you're driving a little slower. They might even hear you, and as you're approaching at a slower speed, they would drift over.
You can fucking.
But once they hear you ripping through, they're like, "Fuck that! I'm going to slow this guy down."
You can hear that fucking truck idling.
Yeah. I'm saying they could also be like, "I'm gonna put this guy honest and put him back on the speed limit. I'm gonna stay in the road here, make him fucking slow down first."
I think you're giving them way too much credit.
No, because I would do that.
I know you.
I would do that.
I know you.
I would do that. You know when people...
But I don't know how many yous exist.
I like to do that thing also where, when 2 lanes are merging, like on the right side.
Don't say it, Ben.
And like a lot of cars are trying to pass you after that dotted line separating them disappears. I will drift in the middle to keep a bunch of assholes from zipping past me on the right. I'm like, no. This is you fold in 1-1. This isn't a bunch you rip past me because there's still a little room on that side.
I want to shred you for it, but fuck it, I do the same thing.
No, man, it's annoying. So
yeah,
I'll
especially when you
nudge
drive
out.
a truck. People just assume.
I'll nudge out and I'll be like, listen, there's only 1 lane here now. It may be wide, but I'm going to take the whole lane to keep you from fucking...
People just assume I drive slow because my truck's big. Nah, man. Out the fuck my way. Get out. Because I know where I'm going and I know how I'm going to get there.
If I saw you coming, I would nudge out. Not personally, like if I saw you coming. If I saw your truck barreling down and I know that you're going to jump the spot in the merge line, so to speak. If you were going to try and steal a few slots up, I would get over there and keep you behind me.
We would be mortal enemies behind.
That's fine.
Like if we met in the streets.
That's fine, because basically, fuck you for not observing fucking human decency and common sense rules. Thinking you're special. You're not.
I am not special.
You're not.
I am, however, going to get to where I'm going to go.
Not if I'm in front of you. Not if I'm in front of you. I will keep you honest. I'll be like, no, your spot is behind me, pal.
I keep trying to see if there's any new news.
New news for what? Larry?
Yeah.
I think
I think he's got
our
a lot of fires that he's got
our
to put
total
out.
lack of sympathy, or understanding, and a little bit of kind of like you asked for it. Shut him up.
Listen. If it just came out of nowhere and it was never talked about or mentioned, and they just blew up like that, I'm not exactly Team Larry, but I'm kind of like, I'm team of like, whoa, calm the fuck down. He didn't get vaccinated. Like, okay.
No, he fucked up by saying, I'm this, don't tell nobody. He's being Sneaky Pete.
But if he was Sneaky Pete, and the assumption is that he is, of course, vaccinated, and the reality comes out otherwise, then yeah, man, I can't. It's hard to feel any sympathy,
even
brother.
Though
you got caught.
Yeah.
You got caught.
Even though, like I said, honestly, it's fake outrage because there's no greater risk.
Yeah.
It really isn't. Because everyone that's mad that he's unvaccinated, ideally should be vaccinated.
If they're also not vaccinated, but they're just throwing this whole temper tantrum, fuck them.
Right.
Fuck them.
Then what's your problem? You're not going to die. You're vaccinated.
See, that's the whole thing. It's like that's like the important piece of everything, to know where to side on stuff. Because now you're like, well, there's a couple different ways that this could have happened.
How far down the fucking Greek alphabet are we going with these things? Are we like down to gamma, right? Alpha, beta, delta, gamma, or is there more
for hurricanes?
No, for the fucking vaccine, for the virus.
Oh. You're asking the wrong goddamn person.
You're the one that missed looking at the news and shit.
Oh, I don't read about COVID. I don't, dude. Listen,
is this our COVID episode?
I don't know. Look. I don't want to like piss anybody off. I could give a fuck. It has barely inconvenienced my life. I, however, know people who have lost loved ones because of it. I know one person who lost both his parents within like 3 days of each other.
Yeah.
So I understand what is at risk. But I am outside every day around people, just...
Jackie's wife went to the hospital.
Yeah.
We weren't sure for a little bit.
So I have never personally experienced any of it. And while I would still eventually have been vaccinated, even if I didn't have the situation where I'm about to have my daughter, I would eventually get it. And
I'm saying two things here. I'm not afraid of all the kind of conspiratorial stuff. Like, it's untested. It's fucking...
We have people that believe in this QAnon bullshit. Fuck you and your thoughts.
Like there's no reason to chip you. You're already... everyone on the planet is already chipped.
Yeah.
We all walk around with a fucking cell phone. None of us are... Two things. None of us are savvy enough to turn that shit off all the time so that you're off the grid and not being tracked anyways. And two, 99% of y'all are so unimportant, no one gives a fuck where you are or what you're doing.
In 2021, the government knows more about you than you know about yourself. Just get the fuck over it. They're not going to do anything with the information because...
You're nobody.
You're nobody.
You're of no significance.
You're an ant.
No significance.
Yes.
Zero significance.
You're just a number in a computer.
And I mean, anything, ideally, sure. FDA approval would be, I guess, something that would make
I didn't even know it wasn't. I just
No. This is like emergency use, like fast-tracked. But it had to have been tested on people. So short-term, we know it doesn't do anything bad. Mid to long-term, we have no idea. But how many vaccines in the past did you take for something that fucked you up for something else? I don't know. But I don't hear horror stories about it, so I don't know. Other than the idiots saying autism all the time. But again, those are like
those are people that don't know how things work.
Those are the microchip people.
Yeah.
So
yeah. There's a difference between people who are rational and come with you with information, and just there's a misunderstanding along the lines of like, ideology maybe. Those people are perfectly fine. They're your normal everyday person. Anybody comes at you with something crazy or wackadoo, you immediately have to go, nothing you say matters. You can enjoy it, you can be angry at it, but it doesn't matter. Their opinion equals zero.
No.
Like the people, like, any of our representatives in Congress that say something that is based on anything around that QAnon stuff. That's cool that you believe that nonsense. Your opinion equals zero. It's unfortunate, though, that because of your position in the world, your opinion somehow actually can affect people, which is why they shouldn't be in Congress. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, generally in life, if someone comes to you with some wackadoo opinion about fucking the government and all that stuff, you're like, all right, cool, man. Well, you gonna take my advice? Nah, man, but that's cool.
It goes back to my point that this isn't the 1950s where people kept secrets.
No, it's
the government. These big conspiracies involving governments and world doctors and the world of scientists, all being in like 99% consensus. You can't coordinate that much of a scam. You can't.
The United States,
every country, every government, every doctor, every scientist, or the large majority of them.
The United States of America.
You can't work that big.
Russia, Great Britain, fucking France.
I'm not sure Russia's going to
Australia. Listen to all these countries. We know what do we know about world politics? We know that every government is compromised at some level with spies and all that nonsense because shit gets leaked all the time. So in our own government, they can't keep secrets in-house because they can't run functionally enough to do that. And we're expected to think that they're hiding anything from us? No, you're fucking retarded.
I mean, they're hiding stuff from us, but it's not this.
No.
It's not.
No.
This is too big and involves too many moving pieces.
Like
you could be hiding like fucking aliens and shit like that. That's one thing.
That's a hard one at this point, I think. But I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's happened.
Listen, like
I've listened to enough Rogan.
No. But what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson's like everyone on the planet has a super high D 4K video camera in their pocket. Mm-hmm. How come all we get are these fucking weirdo little fucking blobs on a black and white screen from a fucking plane with no other witnesses or whatever? It's all horseshit. It's all horseshit.
Listen.
Here we go.
It's the same thing with Bigfoot. They're just naturally blurry.
Huh.
Everything else when you see these pictures is perfect. It's just them that's blurry.
Right. But I mean, that's a very logical point. It's like you got 7 billion people on the planet or whatever. Or something like that. I don't know what the number is.
I saw the new Bigfoot footage that came out today.
It's like you're going to be able to fucking hide from every single one of them.
So, to your point, I saw the new Bigfoot footage that came out
I didn't
today.
know there was new Bigfoot footage.
There's new Bigfoot footage. Now, the best part about
this already is ridiculous.
The best part about this new Bigfoot footage, it's like a mother. It looks like a mother holding a child crossing a river at about waist deep. You look at it and you're like, and this is what it's kind of sad. Here's what's sad. There's no more mysteries, or mysteries are just kind of disappearing as our technology and our access to information gets quicker, faster, and more high tech. Because it used to be like you'd see pictures in the newspaper of stuff like like Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil, or Chupacabra, or something, or Nessie, and you're like, if we were kids, when you heard about that shit, you saw those pictures, you're like, oh shit, that's fucking crazy. But it's 2021, so you see this footage that comes out, and you're like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it looks better than most, but it's still blurry. Why is it still blurry?
Can I give you another?
And you're right.
Can I give you another 2021 theory?
Yeah.
It's 2021. Anyone and their mother can have a half-decent Chewbacca costume mailed to their house overnight for $100 fucking bucks.
And you can actually, because of
this isn't like
you can pay it off in installments.
This isn't
so it's
like
accessible to more people.
This isn't like in the '60s, that one blurry where he's walking with the arms, and you're like, well, above everything else, who would make that costume? It's like today People love dressing up like fucking Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Do you remember a few years ago?
You know how many Chewbacca costumes there are out there? I'm just saying.
A few years ago, someone took a really high-end Bigfoot costume.
I would go camping with a Chewbacca costume and fuck with other people.
You're gonna get shot, buddy.
Well, I wouldn't camp somewhere where they're hunting. I'd camp somewhere where there's
only people that go camping are people who own guns, sir.
No, that's not true.
Unless you're in like the northwest with the hippies.
There's like what are they glamping? The glamorous camping?
That's right. That's a new thing.
Fancy camping, where you're roughing it, but you have electricity and internet. And maybe an air-conditioned tent.
Oh, man. I love America.
Air mattresses, all that.
Fucking love America. Now, I remember, like, it was almost a decade or more, where it was, like, this big thing where, like, we found Bigfoot, a dead one. He's in a freezer. There's all these pictures that were taken of this frozen fucking Bigfoot.
Sure he wasn't in carbonite?
God, I wish. But it was, like, this big igloo. Like, this giant igloo.
Like from The Thing.
Yeah, and he was all folded.
Like cut out of a fucking block of ice?
So, no. He was on ice. They had him on ice.
Oh, they were keeping him in igloo coolers?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
In a giant igloo cooler. He was all folded up. But it was huge. And they're like, oh, the specimen weighs 479 pounds. This is his height, weight. This is where we found him. This is blah, blah, blah. Looked like he died of natural causes. And you don't see it looks like a dead animal carcass for the most part, except for what you can make of the face. The pictures are online. They're fantastic. They sold it. That's
like putting a Michael Myers mask on a bear or something. Yeah.
Yes. What they ended up doing was buying like a high-end Bigfoot costume and kind of like mangling him up a little bit. And the way they packed it in the ice, you look at the pictures, you're like, oh, that was real clever. But they sold it for like a lot of money, and then it took those people once it was delivered. That was another great thing about the early 2000s. You could sell shit on the internet. People would send you the fucking money, wait for it to be shipped,
like a Ziploc full of fucking Sasquatch scat.
Yeah! But you would just do that blindly. You would blindly send someone like $7,000 for a Bigfoot carcass. Yeah. And then, and a big fuck you shows up in the mail. And you're like, damn it.
I mean, yeah, people took that. I mean, it was one thing to look in the back of a comic book and be able to buy a monkey for $1.
We've talked about that before.
The alligator, but the fucking be able to order a fucking Bigfoot.
Did they buy the Loki alligator from a comic book? That would be awesome. I love it. Blows people's mind. My brother just found where Jeff was talking about. He's like, I didn't know Chris Hemsworth did Throg in the Loki series. I was like, well, yeah, but it was just like blink you miss it kind of thing. Like, I'm sure he recorded dialogue and they added it, but
nobody heard it. Yeah, but yeah, all that. I it's funny. I guess that I don't want to knock anyone's fucking feelings, or tell people their opinions are wrong, but
just go get vaxxed. I mean,
it's just I don't care. I really don't care. Here's the thing. Like I told you, I said if it would be, like if someone I know were to die from COVID at this point in the game, right now, it would be a tremendous shame.
And we would be very sad.
Really bad. But at the same time, I would say they didn't deserve it, but they sure fucking asked for it. Because you can argue that whatever site you were on gave you different numbers, but from all the science I see, 97 and 99% are the numbers being thrown out for deaths, and they're all unvaccinated. So, I mean, if you want to roll the dice, roll the dice. At this point, it's your call. The vaccine's been around long enough that we don't see like whole groups of people dropping dead from them. Okay. In fact, it's the opposite. The only people dropping dead now are the other voter base, the voter base that now has their congressmen and their senators and their governors begging people to go get the shots.
So,
because it's chewing into their voter base.
So, being a Floridian,
Yeah.
And being a normal person with, maybe, above normal trauma, but, normal person nonetheless.
Oh,
But anyway, being a normal person,
trauma.
when you never want to see anybody get sick. However, being a wrestler for 15 years, and we always equate things to storylines and, heel and babyface moments. And, well, obviously, I'm always going to come from the heel perspective.
Well, but the frustration with wrestlers is that no matter what the fuck it is, whether it's the Super Bowl or the election,
It's always a work, Daddy.
and all you cocksuckers on social media are like, it's a total work anyway. Just because your entire line of business is a work doesn't mean everything else in the world is a work.
It's all a work, man. It's all a work.
All a work.
But the best outcome for us Floridians is DeSantis gets COVID. And I don't want him to die, but I want him to get sick enough to shut his fucking mouth.
Well, he's asking people to get shots now. He's been on TV for the last couple of weeks.
I don't care. It's not about him. It's about the state. I want to see all these fuckheads see it happen in front of their little fucking pariah.
No. You got to understand. You got to go back a few of like a year.
Oh, Trump?
Yeah, the guy got it. Listen, the guy got it so bad they had like fucking medevac him out. They had to pump him through with enough fucking experimental and fucking high-end things that none of us still have access to just to fucking get him back to life.
Maybe they use like detergent mists.
And like maybe it didn't.
He's an inhuman now.
It didn't sway anyone. So people have their minds made up, and like the problem with today is that on both sides of the fucking aisle.
Oh yeah,
it's like the left. It's like nobody's open-minded to listen to and consider someone else's side. So whatever. I do. I listen, but you have to be coming from a place of facts and reality.
You have so much wisdom
to start with. Me? I
have so much wisdom.
It's
you don't have the wisdom beard anymore, but you're still full of wisdom.
That thing was.
So I'm going to be.
That beard was a problem.
It was glorious though. So I'm going to run into a weird problem here with the Delta variant. We're going to where it's going, and us going to a state where we're thinking. Like the wife and I talking about, am I going to be allowed in the room, vaccinated or not? Like, we don't know.
Oh, for the birth?
But we had a conversation about this, and we'll have another one or two just to kind of like know that we're both on the same page. But as of right now, it's like if you're not vaccinated, you're not coming anywhere near my child. Anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how with babies and all that.
And I don't want to find out because my niece got COVID. And that's been a whole shit show.
Was that how old is she?
She's 20 months.
Oh, okay.
And
she got sick?
So what happened with her was she ran like 104 fever for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, she's probably retarded now. They probably cooked her brain.
But you wouldn't know it. She went through the day as if the day was just the day. Like she was running through a fever, but my brother said like, she never like stopped playing, never slowed down, like never acted sick.
That's weird because if you have 104 fever, you should be feeling pretty crappy.
But he sent me a video when the wife had one of her interviews, and he sent me a video of my niece wishing her well, which is basically just her holding half-eaten Pop-Tart and yelling at the camera, like any 20-month-old child. But
these are. Again,
but she was running like 105 fever. No, excuse me. I would think it was a 101.5 or something like that fever. And, she just seemed to be fucking whatever. Like, that was the only, like, nothing. But, are there going to be lingering issues 6 months, 7 months, a year from now? I don't know. He doesn't know. He's fucking kind of scared about it because it's just like...
From getting it? From getting sick?
Yeah, she might be fine. Maybe she made it through, but...
Well, I remember...
Because some people...
Remember early on that people have lingering issues or lifetime issues from getting sick.
So we're so early into this,
and they don't let you
know.
vaccinate kids, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the closest vaccination is it Pfizer? I want to say it's Pfizer. It would be between 5 and 12.
I feel
So
Like,
it won't even reach babies.
as soon as your kid is on to like solid foods instead of titty milk, that you just need to start having the kid eat out of the trash to get that immune system.
Well, she goes outside all the time. Always plays in the dirt.
No, your kid. I don't care about your niece or whatever. I'm giving you parenting advice.
Ben Tipples. You speak of children as if they're gremlins.
I do. Well, I was making an observation when you were telling me that, oh, yeah, they sent your wife a video of the baby wishing her luck on her interview. And I'm there thinking if either my brother or my sister that both have kids ever send me any dumb fuck shit like that, I would change my number. I can get zero appreciation out of seeing a baby fucking parroting what you just told them to say with their sticky hands and their food covered mouth and whatever.
Oh my God.
Zero interest. So I'm at my dad's wedding. And all of us kids are there. All four of us. We haven't been together since my brother's wedding, which was like a significant time ago.
Yeah.
He's been divorced longer than he's been married at this point.
You don't even talk to your siblings on a regular basis, all of them, do you?
No.
Yeah.
We're our own people. Listen, but when we get together, we all fucking like each other. There's no heat with anyone. It's like our family is like male friends. If I didn't, you've got male friends you haven't seen in 3 years. You bump it, you get together finally, and it's like it's like you spoke yesterday.
Like anytime we see Drew.
Yeah. So yeah, when's he coming back with the cigarettes? And so my family's kind of like that. I see my brother kind of often because he's here, and we kind of we have similar interests and get along and stuff. We had a little bit of a fight. We weren't talking for a while, but whatever. But that's over.
Aww.
No, it was like stupid shit. It was just like he needs a timeout for a few minutes. It wasn't like real heat. It was just a timeout. But so I get together and my sister didn't bring her kid. Her kid was too young to fly. But my brother brought his 3 kids, and like I'm just like biting my tongue because I want to rip all of his kids. I want to be like, well, the little girl. She's like normal and well behaved and seems like well rounded. The 2 boys, man, I wonder if he's ever going to hear this podcast. His 2 sons are just a couple little twinks, okay?
Jesus, Ben.
And I want to be like, I want to tell my brother, like, dude, you need to like get them into contact sports as quick as possible. You need to like fucking, I don't know what. You need to start torturing these kids. You need to like at nights, like jump out and scare them and do like fucking shit to toughen them up because this, and the older one, I think he might be starting high school. And I saw him the day before the wedding and the wife is not helping because my sister-in-law is buying him like designery clothes. Like he's fucking 14 and like is built like he's 12. And he's got like those jeans with the pre-made holes in them and shit. And I'm like, I'm just tasting blood, biting my tongue through the whole fucking night.
That's what it is now.
But it's all Twinkies.
Yes.
And I'm like,
yes.
They got funny personality. And I'm gonna bury that kid even more here.
Oh my God.
No, he did. Actually, this is kind of like respect, where I think this kid might have a little hope. Even though he looks real twinky and effeminate and whatever, and it's like the effeminate part's not a problem. It's just like you gotta like he's going to high school, like you gotta be ready for high school. High school ain't for the soft, I mean,
it
maybe
is now.
Oh God, it better not be,
dude. I'm telling you, I have enough friends whose kids are that age.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. He apparently, he and his friend were like staying over my brother's house, having a sleepover or whatever. And my brother gets a call at like 3 a.m. that they had taken their bikes and pedaled to Waffle House. They're like 13, 14 years old.
That's kind of badass.
It is, especially since my brother said, yeah, we're not that close to a Waffle House. It's not like our place close to Waffle
Yeah, but it
House.
was like, it's like you bike to Waffle House, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's 2 minutes away. Yeah.
Might have been like 20 minutes of pedaling and shit.
It's kind of badass, man.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, maybe
Yeah.
all I'm saying, I'm trying to put on a show for you here. But the kids need to be toughened up. I feel like...
But that's the whole generation, man.
No, it's my brother.
You think...
My brother... Listen, I tried to pull my brother's side at one point, but I never got the opportunity when it was on my mind to be like, listen, man, it's not about society. It's about ruling society. If you toughen these guys up, they'll be king of the fucking class. Like, there'll be no... Like, let's put them in the fucking... Let's put a crown on
But is your brother a tough guy?
I mean, my brother's... I mean, he's not, like, training MMA or anything, but
no, but like, when you were kids and everything growing up...
Oh, yeah, he was the one that always got in trouble, of all of us. Let me tell you a story about him. My dad told him, and no, absolutely not, he was not allowed to go to the Guns N' Roses New Year's Eve show at the fucking stadium.
Oh, you ignore that every day.
My brother was such a dummy.
Oh, no.
That my dad's watching the fucking 11 o'clock news and sees my brother behind them waving and getting on camera.
Damn.
But he's always the one that got busted with pot of the four of us. He was the one that was always just like strangely hanging out with his friends' girlfriends. And my mom was always freaking out about the door being closed and locking the door and whatever. I think my brother, I got to ask him. One day I got to just ask him all this stuff. I think he plowed everyone's girlfriends. I think he was that guy. So in terms of knowing how to navigate high school successfully, you know, I mean, he's like, he can't be a hypocrite with his kid gets caught with weed or something because he did it.
But he doesn't seem
snuck
to be
out. He broke the rules.
It seems to be he's taking more of the hands-off approach.
I think he's letting the wife drive.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the kids and going, might help if you teach this kid how to throw a punch. I'm just saying, you know?
So it's funny. And this is a good story about, like, you know, just a good indication and a good look into that generation. One of my friend's sons is 18, and I haven't heard from him in a while, and he hit me up out of nowhere. Not my nephew that I go flying with. This is someone else. And he hits me up, and we just start talking, because I hadn't heard from him in, like, almost a year. And we'll call him Adam. And he hits me up, and I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? And he goes, hey, Uncle Marco, because that's what all my friends' kids call me.
Oh, my God.
It's what they call me. So
You're like 5 years away from having a bunch of, like, Werther's candies in your pocket.
So he calls me up. I mean, we're talking on Messenger, and he starts telling me that he wants to do MMA. And I go, well, okay, Adam, but, like, you're 18. Like, are you doing jiu-jitsu right now, and you feel like you can fight? Are you doing, like, Muay Thai? Are you? Because, like,
wait. I don't understand what you're saying. He wants to eventually compete, like, competitively.
He
like,
wants
fight?
to. He wants to pursue the path of mixed martial arts and be on TV.
Oh, because a lot of people pursue mixed martial arts but never actually have a fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they just train in, like, multiple disciplines.
No.
That's why when you said that, I didn't think it meant I want to go fight in front of a crowd.
So I asked him.
Money.
I asked him if he's training. He goes, "Well, no." And I'm like, "Well, you're 18, and most of these kids coming through American Top Team,
they've already got 5-10 years.
Exactly. They started at, like, 8 fucking years old. So I'm like, and I know his kid. I know he did a little bit of professional wrestling training, and I know that he's very athletic, and I know that I know that he can fight because I hear stories from his father all the time about all these fucking all the shit he gets into in school.
Oh, I was going to suggest like pop him in the nose once.
No. Well, like
take a punch.
He
might have Brock Lesnar syndrome.
He's like my height, so he's kind of like a bigger kid. And I won't say bully-ish, but I can imagine him. I can imagine like him going and doing jiu-jitsu or doing Muay Thai and gaining like respect for people and shit like that, and this being a good like discipline lesson for him. So like I was all for it. So I'm asking him all these questions, and I don't think he knows. Like I watch MMA all the. I'm like we talked about this the other day. I don't have anyone talk MMA with because I watch MMA all the time now. It's like when NFL goes in off season, I become like a full blown fucking MMA guy. So I started asking him all those questions, and he's just like, he's not answering them in a way for somebody who watches MMA. So I go, Adam, let me ask you a question.
If he just wants to fight people, there's probably unsanctioned shit in parking lots.
So I ask him, I'm like,
Fight Club
what's
shit.
your favorite promotion? And he goes, well, I guess like that one promotion on TV, the UFC. And I'm, oh, okay.
That one on.
Okay.
One.
So who's your favorite fighter? I'm going to pull this up because I don't want to get it wrong. Because when this hit me, I went, I don't know how to respond to you because I don't know where to go from here.
Well,
so I go, who's your favorite fighter? He goes, this is word. He goes, McGregory, I think. That's his name. Also Bruce Lee. I would say maybe CM Punk, but I heard he was bad. and
well, here, hold on.
And there's a lot to unpack with that.
Hold on. You don't have to ever have watched the product to want to prize fight in MMA. But to want to do that not knowing the product, you would have to be training in it. Like you could be rolling jiu-jitsu and boxing and amateur wrestling at high school, never watched UFC, Bellator, whatever, and want to get into it. Mm-hmm. There's tons of guys that don't watch the product, but are basically ready to fight. You can't have both. So I'm declaring that this guy's he's a slice of bread short of a sandwich.
He
here.
got the name of the
McGregory
of the most lucrative prize fighter in the last decade wrong.
But I mean, I'm saying,
and he added Bruce Lee some. That was what baffled me. That's what I got that, and I got the CM Punk thing because I know his father through wrestling. So I'm like, okay, I get the CM Punk thing. Like, I get your.
I'm glad you didn't use his real name when you started a story because I'm calling him a retard now. This guy's not all there.
But after talking to him for a little bit after that, I come to realize I'm like, no, you're just in that weird phase of your life where you think like, because when you become 18, everyone says, oh, now you're an adult. Now you're an adult. Like you're not even close, man. Like you're not even on the stepping stools of what adulthood is. You're just 18, but society tells you you're an adult.
Sounds like this kid needs to go in the army or something.
He just needs a direction. That's all.
The
army is a direction. No,
he gave him
He
one.
just needs a direction. And he thinks that if he doesn't shoot for his dreams right now, that door will close.
That doesn't sound like much of a dream.
It's so haphazardly thrown together that, I mean, bro, it would be like you and I talking about professional table tennis and how we're going to storm the fucking world. I couldn't tell you shit for shine. I know it was an Olympic sport. They were in the Olympics. It happened last week. Don't know fuck goddamn thing about it.
I don't know the rules.
But it's akin to that kind of, where it's like, well, the sport exists and it looks like anyone can do it.
But my point is, there's only two ways that you would come to. There's only two ways.
Yes, you're right.
You would come to want to do this professionally.
That's correct. And
either you've been watching it forever and are intimately familiar with the product, the promotions, and the fighters, or you've been training in some disciplines forever and now want to go to the next level, or a combination of both. You can't have neither.
He found the third path, Ben.
No, there's no third path.
He found the third path.
No, that's like those.
You know what the mindset is?
No, this is like that. What's that thing? The fortune thing, the Chinese folded thing. With he just did that a couple of times, and he flipped the thing up, and it said MMA fighter.
More than twice. He probably did like 7 times. No, and I get the mindset though. I realized with the mind, I was like, oh, this is the early to mid 2000s indie wrestler mindset. I was an ECW fan. Fucking Sandman isn't an athletic specimen. Anyone can do this. I'm going to do this. And then you got the crop of wrestlers.
But how is that? How does he have that? He doesn't even watch.
Because he was around it as a kid. He saw it in action.
Wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah, but he's not trying to go into wrestling.
But he was exposed to that mindset his entire childhood. So it stuck with him.
I don't know. I think you're making excuses.
He's subconsciously coming up with these. Dude, talking to him was like, it was either become a famous MMA fighter or I guess my life's over, I'll get married and work in a factory.
That sounds like a better path for him.
But there's just so much between those two choices.
You should literally have said that sounds like the better path for you.
Oh, I'm not going to deny some 18-year-old kid his fucking dream.
I fucking would. Because that kid's going to get his nose pushed through his brain. That's what's going to happen.
I don't think he really wants to do it. I think he wants to say he wants to do it and then have somebody confirm those.
It sounds like he just wants to be famous, doing something athletic.
It was just awkward. It was weird. What was weird to me was
he'd be better off going in the pro wrestling.
It was weird to me. It's like, all right, you're talking to someone you know is an avid MMA fan. Because I'm telling him, I'm like, if you wanted to come to America's Top Team, like it's down here. Like I might be able to know somebody who knows somebody. Maybe I can set you on a good path or something. So he's talking to someone who can intelligently talk to him about the subject.
Colby Covington gambles at the Hard Rock all the time. Knows my roommate's girlfriend on site. They're pals. I could get you in with him.
Did you see, Ben, how easy that was?
Yeah.
So I'm talking to him intelligently about this, and then I start to get like,
I'm just saying, I'm one step removed from the Kevin Bacon of MMA. You know what I mean?
And
those 6 degrees here.
And when I asked,
I was one.
Who's your favorite fighter? You could name anybody from the LFA. You could name anybody from Bare Knuckle. You could name anybody from the fucking Dynamite 5000 shit. You could name anybody from the UFC.
But Connor McGregory,
from Bellator. But Connor McGregory, Bruce Lee, and maybe CM Punk. That sets off every warning signal and every fucking siren going like, whoa, wait a minute. You don't even watch the product.
This tells me that he's I wouldn't bet my money on him to succeed in life.
No, I love the kid, man.
You can like someone, but no,
he's fine.
No, this guy's
he's just in a place right now where he needs to find some direction in life. And I told him,
I didn't say he was a bad person. I'm just saying I wouldn't bet on a guy.
I told him, I was like, look, man, if you ever want
life.
to talk about something, hit me up. Being 18 can be weird, and I just I've known the kid since he was 6 years old, man. I want to help if I can. But you just can't come at me with Connor McGregory. You can't do it.
This is why. You make my points for me.
Really? Because anytime you get parody advice, you just had the fucking stories you were telling.
No. Like I said, I don't want to know your kids until they're around this age. I don't want to have a relationship with someone and then be burdened with some doofus telling me Connor McGregory, and I have to fucking have a conversation with this person because I've put in 11 years with this numbskull.
Time.
You make my points for me. Like, I'm so glad I'm just barely starting to have conversations with my brother's kids. I don't regret for a minute.
You wait until they're 21?
I'm fucking so happy. I'm even doing the Italian hand thing.
You
here.
are. It's like at 21 they get to meet Uncle Ben because they haven't seen it.
Right.
That's their present. So now we get to meet.
Yeah, but be interesting.
Yeah. Well, it would just be like I could see them like in the room and you're standing there and you're like, okay.
Like as you're telling a story, I'm like, this is why I am not going to be fucking hanging around with Marco's daughter because I'm gonna have to deal with doofus shit for 10 years until they start forming actual opinions and personalities. No sticky fingers and dirty diapers for me, pal.
She's beginning to come over and help with the podcast.
I can't. Oh, I can't wait till you're bouncing her on your fucking knee. You should hear. I know you don't. Yeah, you do listen sometimes, but when I podcast with Anthony, my favorite thing is to give him shit anytime he's like fucking making noise, like when he's trying to cook in the middle.
But he's always making noise.
I know, but
he's like an overactive 8-year-old.
You understand? He's so touchy about it now.
Really?
Oh, he's super conscious about it now. Super conscious.
Does he do the thing where you're halfway through a podcast like, "Hey Ben, I haven't made any noise yet"?
No. But he'll do this and go, "I know I'm putting food in the dog bowl. Don't give me shit about it." Or he'll like try and preempt it, you know.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So I don't give him such a fucking like ear fucking over it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I've got it. He's a little bit like he's got like a little bit of that abuse syndrome now, where he's kind of like, if you put your hand up too quickly, he thinks you're gonna strike him. He's battered podcaster syndrome or whatever. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this shit up.
It was a lot of fun. We talked about a variety of things.
We talked about a couple of things. Unfortunately, we somehow got into a COVID conversation.
With the worst thing ever.
You know,
get the shot or don't. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't, because
don't be the guy that doesn't get it and he gets surprised when there's heat with it. Just don't be that guy. Just understand that with the society the way we're at, there's going to be a certain amount of heat with that. Just move on, shrug, and go, okay, move on. That's it.
Don't get caught lying about.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't get caught lying about it.
That's worst move. That's worst move. Worst move is to be that guy.
Either at the end of the day,
because then
with a logical mind, it doesn't matter. But
yes,
but you're lying to people who you're trying to. You want them to respect you. Respect them. Don't lie to them. You know.
Yeah, because that's a stupid thing. That's a stupid thing to lie about. Yeah. It's a very dumb thing to lie about.
It would just be like, it doesn't matter whether I am or I'm not, because it's still transmissible and catchable. So I'm not. But
those conversations never happen.
But you got to You can't. I feel like he was being sneaky Pete.
I feel especially in Florida.
We know, quote, Larry, unquote, and let's just say it doesn't. I would not put it past that. The signs, real fucking sneak there.
The signs, the reactions, and the what we know, it does not look good. But I'm not throwing anyone under any buses. But it is not the best look that there could possibly be out there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, someone looked like they done fucked up.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm sure there'll be more to come out of that.
I'm sure.
Before this day's over.
I can't wait to talk about it, too. I love airing other people's fucking dirty laundry.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay, bye.
Bye.